Greetings. My name is Cecile Greenfield. I want you to imagine that Thiago Silva, a defender, has been moved to an offensive position on the pitch. Welcome to Trading Places. How many of you have seen this movie Kicking and Screaming? Will Ferrell's character is very serious about his strategy and his chalk talk with his team, all while standing next to one of the more successful head coaches in the NFL, Mike Ditka. In this scenario, I would like to say I am Will Ferrell feeling my way through using a little data to guide me. So let's start here with what I thought a potential problem could be. When I initially looked at the data, I identified 1,221 offensive players and 5,789 defensive players. Can the defensive soccer player transition to an offensive position? Why is this important? I want to capitalize on the skills of each player, implement strategic planning, and of course have buy in from all the players. I want to know, can a defensive player transition to an offensive position by utilizing the skills they already possess? For example, acceleration, speed, agility, and free kick accuracy. Using those particular skills, I assessed the data. I first had to determine if there was a significant difference between the skills of the defensive and offensive players. By looking at the different bar graphs, you can see there is a slight difference in their average ratings. However, to be absolutely certain, I completed a t-test for each skill required. The result is highlighted in yellow. All this number means is that there's a statistically significant difference between the two, meaning that offensive players have better acceleration, are more agile, are faster, and have better kicking accuracy than a defensive player. Naturally, that makes sense because player roles are different. So, because there was a significant difference, this meant I could assess a little further. If you notice, of the 5,729 defensive players, 1,789 of them met the acceleration requirement, 1,571 met the speed requirement, 1,967 met the agility requirement, and with a large number in free kick accuracy, 2,366 met the requirement. You can also see that 654 of them met all four of the criteria. Now that we've taken a look at the data, let's talk about some recommendations. Clubs should reevaluate players prior to the beginning of the season to monopolize on all facets of the player. Consider the immediate transition of the 654 players that met all four criteria and examine game day plans. The changes and additions will potentially draw more fans in to watch some of their favorite defensive players play on the opposite side of the pitch. Now, let's go back to why all of this is important. The data used to determine the transition of a player to an offensive player ensure that we examine every facet of the player. Let's take it a step further and look at the age of the player. Will the results be different? This may cause the club to make even more adjustments to their organization. With that being said, buy in from the players is important. This can happen with most clubs because players trust the skill set and ability of one another. On the other hand, there may be newer clubs that have not established cohesiveness, which leads me to strategic planning. Clubs can implement more creative game day plans, have a deeper bench in the event of injury, and potentially build more fan base because of new player positions. I would like to thank you for your time and look forward to working with you.